Good morning, everybody. We'll call to order our April 16th, 2019 regular meeting of the Mason County Board of County Commissioners. Before we begin with our Pledge of Allegiance, first off, Kathy, if you wouldn't mind leading us in our Pledge of Allegiance. But before we begin our Pledge of Allegiance today, if we could stand and take a moment of silence for the Cowlitz County deputy that was shot and killed over the weekend. Thank you. And on behalf of the commission, we're truly grateful for the sacrifice that the Cowlitz deputy made over the weekend, as well as the sacrifice of our local Mason County Sheriff's deputies and Shelton police officers, as well as our tribal officers. And so thank you for indulging us in that moment of silence. Kathy, if you please lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item number 3, if the clerk would please take roll.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here.
Very good, thank you. Item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Item 4.1, if the clerk would please report the correspondence.
We only have one item. The Mason County Democrats sent in a letter regarding I-1639.
Okay, thank you. Item 4.2, Mason Transit Programs, and ask Kathy to please come forward and present.
I always have lots to talk about. How much time do I have? Like an hour and a half? Maybe not. First of all,
Well, it depends
thank
on
you
what
so
clock
much.
you use.
Yeah, thank you, commissioners, for your time. Thank you very much. And since we have the pleasure of having you all on our board, I'm not sure if you've all gotten hats or not. And I don't care if you want to wear them, you have to, because you're on board. So, and I got the trucker hat, because I think they're the cutest. So, there you go.
Thank you.
There you go. And I have a little gift here for you that just has everything that we do and some things about the community.
Thank you.
And there's coloring books and colors in there for Earth Day coming up. So I'm going to remind everyone of that. There you go. So I'm here today, and thank you, Commissioner Schutte, for asking me to come. I probably should have thought of it myself to just come, but I was asked to come, so that's awesome. I have a few things to talk about. We have a few new things going on and a few things that come back every summer or this time of year in spring, some of our programs. So one of the things that's very important to us is that we have a public meeting on Tuesday, April 23rd at the Transit Center at 5:30. And that public meeting is, we're hoping to get a lot of people to come and tell us what they think of a new route that we are proposing. The new route is basically our Route 9, but it's better. And what we heard from people when we went out and took a lot of surveys here about a year ago was that people wanted more service, more frequent service from the downtown up to the north end of town. And so this new route, and I have some handouts if people want to look at them, the route will basically mean that you can come from downtown to uptown about every 15 minutes. We'll have a bus that just runs like that. We started another sort of pilot about a month ago. Oh gosh, no, it's probably been 2 months ago. And it was very popular, and that's coming out of the Timber Lakes area so that people can have more frequency coming out of there too, because we have a lot of people that ride the bus from out there. So it's Timber Lakes and Harsting Island. So this one again is, we'd love to have that input. If you can't come to the meeting, you can actually just Google masontransit.org, and there's a space there where you can send us a message. You can send me a message. I'm on there too. You can find me after you've looked at it. When you look at our Facebook page or our website, this is right on the front. So it actually shows the proposed routes and the proposed times we're going to stop and where we're going to stop. And that comes from down the transit center and up the hill and back. So we'd really like the input on that. We've always had Dial-A-Ride. We're just really pushing it right now. We've enhanced some of our times. We're trying to make it more available to people. Dial-A-Ride being our free door-to-door basic service here in Mason County, within Mason County. So if you live in Mason County, we can come pick you up and take you somewhere else in Mason County. You can make an appointment for us to pick you back up there and take you back home. And it's all free to anyone in Mason County with no age restrictions, no income restrictions. It's just within Mason County. The other thing that we have now is our STAR. We partnered with the state, and they can get what's called a Star Pass, people that work for the state of Washington. And that's a shared thing with us, Grays Harbor, and Inner City. So state workers that want to ride any one of those three bus services, Grays Harbor, Inner City, which is Olympia, and us, all they have to do is go online to the state where they work, their own employer, apply for the Star Pass. The Star Pass is literally a star that goes on their state ID, and they can ride those three systems all the time, anytime, on the weekends, whenever they want, for free, as long as they're all, whatever the hours are that they all run. We don't run on Sundays, they do, Grays Harbor and Inner City. So that's a really great thing for state workers. You live in Shelton, you work in Olympia, you can ride ours and Inner City Transit, which will get you out to Lacey or Tumwater for free, all the time, all year long. Let's see, we have our Youth Pass coming up. The Youth Pass will be available online and in person at all the different Timberland libraries and our transit center. That will be for sale the last week of May. This is for teens, young people 18 and under. And for $20, they get a pass and they can ride Mason Transit, Inner City Transit, Clallam Transit, Grays Harbor Transit, and Jefferson Transit between Memorial Day and Labor Day with that one pass, that one $20 pass, as much as they want. And that's our summer youth pass, and that's another partnership that we do with these other agencies. Let's see, I'm on a roll here. Oh, this is super cool. We just got something called Token Transit. It's super cool. We're coming into the 21st century, and you can go on and you can download Token Transit on your phone, and you can buy all of our passes through Token Transit, and then it's just on your phone. And every month, all you have to do is find your account, push which pass that you want for that month, and it comes onto your phone, and then that's what you show our drivers. So that's really cool. People are really liking that. We just went online with that, and we're already selling those like crazy. So I think really the main reason Commissioner Schutte asked me to come today, but I thought I'd use the reason or the time to blab off everything. We have a really great program here in at Mason Transit. It's called the Volunteer Driver Program. Most of the money that comes to support that program is a grant that we write every year to AAA, Area Agency on Aging. And this is a program where if you're 60 years or older and you live in Mason County and you have a medically related appointment outside of the county, okay, outside of the county, not within Mason County, because that was a need that we realized a few years back that wasn't being met. People can get within the county pretty easy using our dial-a-ride or even our routed service, which is free. But those outside of the area appointments are really hard for family members and for the client themselves, the patient. And so the Volunteer Driver Program is a program where we get volunteers and they use their own car. We put them through different background checks, defensive driving, that kind of thing. They get paid the state stipend. So when you travel on like government business, you get a state stipend for every mile that you drive, and that's what we pay the drivers. We call them volunteers because they don't get paid for their time, basically. They get paid their gas and oil, and they use their own car. And that, again, is for the patient or the client is someone that has to be 60 years or older and going outside of Mason County. We've taken people to Seattle. We've taken them to Silverdale. We've taken them to Bremerton. And again, free. It's free to the client because we write this grant. And then we also put a little bit of our own funding because it's such a popular program. By the end of the year, we start running out of money and we come back to our wonderful board and ask them for more money because it's a pretty popular program. Right now, I'm here today to say that we need more drivers. We've had a couple drivers that we've had for years. They did the lion's share of our driving, and they're finally retiring from their retirement job, right? So we really, really need volunteers. We put you through everything. We train you. It's not a lot of time to get, to meet all the requirements. So that's what we're doing today. We've got lots of clients. We don't have enough drivers. You can also do it when you want. So we call and we say, Mary Ellen needs a ride to Bremerton. Can you do it on Thursday? And if you can't do it on Thursday, then you say no. Or if you say, I told you I don't drive in Seattle, so we don't even call. So that's the thing. We have different drivers, but you can pick and choose where you're comfortable driving and the time of the year and all that kind of thing. So that's why we need a lot of drivers on our list to go down in case a couple people say no for that day. So if you know of anybody that is retired or is a stay-at-home person and has a little bit of time on their hands, we'd love to talk to you and help us out with our volunteer driver program. I've got pamphlets on everything. I've got blinky lights if you want them. These are great for people that walk at night or if you ride the bus so our bus can see you in the mornings and at night when it starts to get dark. I use it on my blind deaf wiener dog because I can't find her at night. Has nothing to do with the bus, but I do it anyway. So I've got all those goodies over there. I've got pamphlets on all the programs that I've talked about today. And if you have any questions, see me after. Because you don't want me to take up any more of your time.
That was great. That was great. Great job.
So thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Good. Well, thanks, Kathy. I appreciate you making the time to come in, and I know as commissioners, we certainly enjoy being a partner on Mason Transit's board, and it's always exciting to hear the new things that Transit is doing in our community, and so appreciate all the updates today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Moving on to item number 5, it's an open forum for citizen input, an opportunity for members of the public to address the commission on items not on today's agenda. If you have any items that you wish to address to the commission, raise your hand, the chair will acknowledge you, and Monty, you can come forward.
Monty Ritter, 538 Maple Street. About 10 years ago, I joined the Mason County Parks and Trails Citizens Advisory Board. A few years after that, we changed it into the Mason County Parks, Trails, and Facilities Department, and I was on the Citizens Advisory Committee, and we drafted up the comprehensive plan for Mason County. Shortly after that, we again morphed into the Mason County Parks, Trails, and Facilities Division of the Support Services Department because we were consolidating similar efforts, and this has worked out really well. It saves people money. I save the taxpayer money. We get a better, more consolidated effort, not duplicating everything, and it's worked out well for us. What we have now recently is we have come across a situation where a few weeks ago, or for the last few months, we've been debating coming up with a public benefit rating system. And a few weeks ago, I had mentioned I was concerned because it seemed like we were either creating we were creating a situation where the open space tax plan, which are what we're in currently, was going to be up against the public benefit rating system, and I was thinking it was either or. But Commissioner Netherlands stated that it wasn't the right question, that the question is the commissioners going to create both the public benefit rating system and the Open Space Taxation Act at the same time, or whether we're going to do nothing and just stay with it the way it is. And it seemed to me that for a little bit I didn't understand that. So I went back and I looked at the Open Space Tax Plan, and I actually see in that it states that the public benefit rating system is actually a component. So Commissioner Netherlands correct when he says it's either do both or just stay with the open space plan. So having read the public benefit rating system again, it occurs to me that we have an opportunity, because the public benefit rating system is so similar to our comprehensive park plan, that if we were to amend the public benefit rating system and amend it so that if the commissioners decide to adopt it, we place the public benefit rating system in with the Parks and Trails comprehensive plan, what we would have is, much like we did with the with the Parks, Trails, and Facilities, incorporating it all together. When I mentioned how the public benefit rating system has a component which creates recreational opportunities and trails throughout Mason County, in order to fund it, I said that we could use a method in the public benefit rating system, but I didn't really say that the most important part of getting a grant is it has to be a component of the comprehensive plan. So if we try to use the public benefit rating system to get say, some trail spaces from properties, we would have to have it be a part of the comprehensive plan. Otherwise, we would not be allowed to get access of that grant money. This comes up every 6 years. It would prevent people from all of a sudden abusing the public benefit rating system, parking some property on that and receiving a tax break while not having to commit to being on a trail or something. Because if it's not part of the comprehensive plan, it can't be used to get grant money, okay, is what I'm trying to say. And what I'm trying to say, I guess, in the long run is I believe it would be a wise way for the county of solving some of the problems that people like in the agriculture and farm and timber communities are having with a public benefit rating system, because they're concerned that it requires a yearly affidavit oversight, or it has to have an audit every 2 years. But that's not correct. If we do it if that's important for the benefit rating system's funding mechanism for creating trails and recognition, but it's not for the farm and the agriculture, because they're on like a 20-year forest plan or 6-year farming plan or something like that. They wouldn't have to be worried because it's a totally different situation, and they wouldn't have oversight from the Parks Department. They would just have oversight from the planning department like they already do, and from the assessor. I'm not quite sure exactly how to say this, because obviously I only understand that this as a citizen who's seen stuff like this happening. But I'd like to propose this as an idea for perhaps satisfying some of the questions and concerns people have. And I'm wondering if it'd be possible for the board to ask Frank Pinter, who's the Director of Support Services, if he could maybe write up some proposed language which could satisfy the situation as I sort of stated here. And I'm sorry if I'm not as clear as I should be, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm asking, but I think there's an idea in here.
Commissioner, you had a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, either or was one of the possibilities too.
Okay.
It was all of the above none of it has been decided.
Okay.
But as for the question, maybe we'll have a discussion about that in our weekly briefing and see what some of those opportunities look like.
Okay, I appreciate that. I know that, you have until July 15th, I think, when you have the next hearing on this, public hearing. And I just thought maybe if we had a small discussion, I appreciate that. It might behoove us to have this at least be presented at the same time so that we could put it all together. I appreciate your listening to me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Monty. Anyone else for public comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to item number 6, adoption of today's agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt today's agenda as written.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve today's agenda as written. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, approval of minutes. We have April 1st, 2019's briefing minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move for the approval of the April 1st, 2019 briefing minutes as presented.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the April 1st, 2019 briefing minutes as presented. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 8, approval of our action agenda. Commissioners will read through the items on today's action agenda, at which time a commissioner or a member of the public could ask a question for clarity or have an item removed for a separate discussion and vote. Commissioner Netherland, if you'd please read items 8.1 through 8.4. Commissioner Trask, 8.5 through 8.8, and then I will read 8.9 through 8.12.
Be happy to. Mr. Chairman, item number 8.1 reads, approval to set a public hearing on Tuesday, May 7th, 2019 at 9:15 a.m. to consider the sale of parcel number 32105-50-23000 East Highland Drive in Union. Item number 8.2, approval of the cooperative law enforcement agreement between the Mason County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Forest Service. Item number 8.3, approval of the community development all-staff meeting and training on Friday, April 26th, and the approval to provide lunch and refreshments to staff. The approval includes closing community services to the public. A news release will be dispersed. Item number 8.4, approval of the extra duty overtime contract between Mason County Sheriff's Office and the Shelton Skookum Rotary Club Foundation for Oysterfest.
Item 8.5, approval to sign a letter of no objection to the special occasion liquor license application for the North Mason Coalition of Churches and Community for a potato bake fundraiser being held May 7th, 2019. 8.6, approval to sign contract K2676 between the Washington State Department of Agriculture and Mason County Noxious Weed Control Board. Item 8.7, approval of the contract amendment between the Mason County Sheriff's Office and Healthcare Delivery Systems through December 2019. Item 8.8, approval to amend contract CH 2018.4 with Crossroads Housing for an additional $2,500 to bridge rental assistance funds through June 30, 2019.
Item 8.9, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances. Claims clearing fund warrant numbers 806-3522 through 806-3695, the amount of $649,167.49. Direct deposit fund warrant numbers 57940 through 58322 in the amount of $679,299.34. Salary clearing fund warrant numbers 7004339 through 7004375 in the amount of $950,470.46. Item 8.10, approval of the January 2019 through December 2021 collective bargaining agreement, CBA, for Teamsters Local Number 252, representing Mason County Appraisers Unit. Item 8.11, approval to enter into contract negotiations with KMB Architects to determine a scope of work, schedule deliverables, and price for architectural and engineering services for various Mason County buildings, specifically for building number 10 at 414 Franklin Street, Shelton. And item 8.12, approval to enter into contract negotiations with KMB Architects to determine a scope of work, schedule deliverables, and price for architectural and engineering services, consulting services to develop a study document to guide the development of a regional jail facility, as well as an analysis of existing conditions at each facility and options for upgrades. Having read through all of the items on today's action agenda, commissioners, are there any questions or items to be removed for a separate vote?
None for me.
Okay. Having read through all the items, are there any members of the public that have questions or would like an item removed for a separate discussion and vote? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the action agenda.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the action agenda as presented. Any additional discussion?
Just a couple comments, if you don't mind. Thank you again to our staff and to the local Teamsters who worked together and came together with a solution for our future contracts that both protect their desires and the county and our bottom line. I want to make it clear that everybody negotiated in good faith to the point to where they did take our future into their consideration, and I appreciate that. Also, we have in the back here our fearless leader of the Noxious Weed Board, and I always want to make sure that we call her out for all her work that she does, because she does so much with so little that it's kind of hard to believe, and eventually she's going to move on to other things, which is very sad for us, because I don't know how we're ever going to replace that. And again, thank you to the Sheriff's Department for those contracts and working things through so we can deliver more to the community without hitting our bottom line as well. Appreciate it.
Very good, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 9, other business. Any department heads or elected officials who would like to address the commission? Okay, seeing none, we can move on to item number 10. 10.1, we have a public hearing to declare parcel numbers 42002-13-90030, 42002-13-90060, 42002-13-9040, and 42002-13-90070, 42002-13-90050 and 42002-13-90080 as surplus property. And I would invite staff forward to brief.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Do we have instructions on how to rewrite item so that you don't have to read
Yeah.
50 parcel numbers?
We're gonna be working on that today.
I'd say we have to anyway.
Exactly. My apologies. Good job. So this is a hearing to consider declaring property surplus. Commissioners did hold a hearing on June 5th to surplus essentially the same property. But since that time, the property was separated under a short subdivision. And the purpose of today's hearing is simply to be very clear about which parcels are being surplused. And you have before you a resolution describing the property. In general, the property is approximately 36 acres in size. It's bounded by West Public Works Drive to the west and to the north, State Route 102 to the south, and US 101 to the east. And we're simply here to declare this surplus property.
Okay, very
And I'm
good.
happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Okay, any staff or questions from the public for staff? Okay, very good. With that, I would open the floor to public comment. If you have a comment to make, raise your hand and chair will recognize you and come forward. Any public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the public comment period and move to commissioner deliberation for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move for the approval to declare the following parcels as surplus. 42002-13-90030. Parcel number 42002-13-90060. Parcel number 42002-13-90040. Parcel 42002-13-90070. Parcel number 42002-13-90050 and 42002-13-90080.
Second?
Moved and seconded to declare the following parcels as surplus: 42002-13-90030, 42002-13-90060, 42002-13-90040, 42002-13-90070, 42002-13-90050, and 42002-13-90080. Any additional discussion? Okay, hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Moving on to item number 11, our board reports and calendar. Commissioner Nunlin, if you get us started, then Commissioner Trask and I'll finish up.
Absolutely. Mr. Chairman, the last week I did attend that Olympic College Wellness Fair. Mason Transit Authority pre-agenda meeting. I had a meeting with the Finance Committee for the Olympic Regional Clean Air Authority. I also attended the Operations Maintenance Committee meeting for Mason Transit Authority. I had a meeting with ORCA itself, the Olympic Regional Clean Air Authority. I had a meeting, I did attend the Democrat meeting to have a discussion in regards to that letter they sent us and clarify the difference between what is sometimes thought and what is actually done. And it actually went very well at the end, and people did understand there was a big difference when they were done. I attended a meeting of the Economic Development Council. We had a special meeting of a group of folks up in North Mason for a dinner called the Good Grief Group. It's a group of ladies who have been widowed, and they get together and do fun things. Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization had a meeting in regards to an interlocal agreement. I attended the ARC board retreat, Mosquito Fleet opening. We had a funeral up in North Mason for a very, very important person to our community. His name was Keith Lindsay, and it was nice to see all the people there and what they had to say about him. In the next week, I'll be attending, I'll be meeting with some developers in regards to a hotel, another group of developers in regards to a potential bakery up in the North Mason region. We have our Mason Transit Authority meeting, meeting of the Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization. Brings us back to our briefings and the North Mason Community Voice meeting that evening. And then we start all over again.
Very good, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Trask?
Thank you. So this afternoon, I have an orientation meeting with the Pack Mountain workforce. Cool to figure out what I'm supposed to do there. I'm on the Mason I heard that we have the Mason Transit Authority Board meeting this afternoon. Tomorrow I have the LTAC meeting in the morning. And then Kitsap Sun, we'll meet with Kitsap Sun this in the afternoon with Diane. And then Wasatch is having social media training that afternoon. And then we have the Forest Festival planning meeting, and that's pretty exciting. I'll be speaking at the Rotary on Thursday. And then we have a LSC webinar. And then Friday night, I'll be going to the Pacific Northwest Winemakers Winter Dinner out in Union. Pretty excited about that one. Saturday, I will be up in Grapeview at the for a community conversation with the libraries. And then that takes us to Monday for the briefing at the Mason County Republican meeting that evening. And then on Tuesday, before we have our evening commission meeting, I'll be going to the mental health court and drug court graduations that afternoon.
Okay, very good, thank you. A couple quick items from last week. I had an opportunity to go out to Arrowhead Lake in the western part of the county and meet with some folks out there and talk about code enforcement issues and help them work through a couple of those problem properties that they have in their community. And it was really great to get out there and just build that partnership with them. I think our community services department has done a good job at trying to build relationships and partnerships with our communities that have homeowners associations. In many cases, the HOAs have some more teeth than they think they do, and so it's good to be able to go out and empower them so that they can help take care of some of these code enforcement issues as well. So. Also had a chance to spend some time with Chief Ryan Sperling from the Sheriff's Office on Friday. Always a good day when you get out of the office and out into the community, and so I appreciate him spending some time with me and meeting some business owners out in the Hoodsport area and out by Lake Newatzel, and just chatting about issues that they're seeing and how we can help on those as well. Going forward, this week, Mason Transit Criminal Justice Working Team have a special meeting of the Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board, as well as Hood Canal Coordinating Council, and then a meeting of the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization. And then I will be out for the Easter weekend, and then back on Monday. So for all of you out there celebrating Easter and Passover, best wishes for that, and we'll see everybody back here next week. Okay, any additions?
Yeah, I will probably be attending the graduation as well. I forgot to get that on my calendar, so we may be there together on that.
Good possibility that we'll all three be there.
Yep.
So.
And happy Easter to everybody else.
Yep, very good. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned. Have a good weekend, everybody. Oh, I just cut straight to the weekend.